Do you ever wonder why so many people seem to be losing respect for our country's universities? Why higher education is constantly being criticized and ridiculed for attempting to indoctrinate the young minds of the people that will soon become professionals and enter the workforce, and are attempting to turn students into social justice warriors rather than into productive citizens that will actually have knowledge and meaningful skills that will add value to society? You ever wonder why these conversations continue to take place? Why we continue to criticize the professors at these universities who have their own agenda and who are more interested in corrupting the minds of students rather than of teaching substance? You ever wonder why this happens? It's because of professors like this one right here. In this video, I'll be reacting to a University of Vermont professor, an economics professor, who is giving a speech on the sidewalk, and he appears to have a decent-sized crowd. And he then goes on to basically say that shoplifting is justified because everyone does it, which I was not aware of. I don't shoplift. I don't know anyone in my personal life or in my inner circle who shoplifts. So I'm not exactly sure what he means by this, but let's take a look at it.
The business owner's argument seems to be you're feeding people who've done bad things. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I've done bad things. And we all have. And they're also concerned about fucking shoplifting. Okay, first of all, what I'm not going to say in there, everybody fucking shoplifts! Everybody I talk to, it's homeless people who get caught, who get blamed for it, who get blamed for the problem. But oh my god, I teach a UVM class to 137 students about the economy. I was asking how people get things that they don't pay for, because we're going to talk about non-market economy, and one student in front of 137 others said, I shoplift things.
Doesn't that just perfectly symbolize the left cheering for shoplifting? I mean, isn't that just perfect? He said, I shoplift things. Woo! How is that worth celebrating? Why are you celebrating theft? That's just so good. That's a golden moment there. That's so good. Also, he tries to cite this one student admitting to shoplifting in his class as proof that everyone shoplifts. But if you listen closely, he pretty much explained exactly why that isn't an appropriate source to cite. He said one student out of 137 raised their hand and said that they shoplift. Yeah, that's 1 out of 137. Now, I'm not expecting every student in the room who shoplifts to get up and then say, me too. But taking that one student out of 137 and then forming the conclusion that everyone shoplifts is actually insane. I mean, I'm not someone who is very experienced in conducting studies, but I'm pretty sure that wouldn't qualify as evidence. That wouldn't qualify as a strong enough source to go around saying everyone shoplifts. I'm not a mathematician, but if you were to actually do the math on that, the ratio 1 out of 137, it doesn't seem too strong. It doesn't seem to be working in your favor. It's just so sad that these woke professors who have infiltrated our country's universities are spewing this nonsense, and unfortunately many young people fall susceptible to it, and they go and they take these ideologies and these flawed ways of thinking, and it shapes their worldview. It's very disappointing, you know, and this is why in many cases universities, professors, higher education in our country deserve the criticism. I went to college myself. I'm 24 years old. I graduated college in 2023, 2 years ago. And I can tell you, I had some very woke professors. It is a real issue. It is a real problem. And to make matters even worse, free speech is heavily censored on most college campuses. When you're in someone like that professor's class, you're not even allowed to speak out of turn. You're not even allowed to challenge the status quo of the classroom. You're isolated, you're alienated, and you feel like you're the only one with common sense, and it makes you feel like you're trapped. And seeing that professor do mental gymnastics just to make some illogical argument for why shoplifting is actually not a bad thing is exactly why so many democratic cities are being plagued by crime right now as we speak. Because woke democratic lawmakers who have the same thought process as this woke professor implement soft on crime policies where they refuse to enforce the law, they refuse to stand for law and order because they'd rather complicate everything and make excuses for criminals, just like that professor did. There needs to be drastic change in our country's universities because unfortunately there's many more professors just like this one who are more interested in forcing their worldview and forcing their flawed and illogical and miserable ideologies onto college students, rather than teaching them something of substance, rather than teaching them actual knowledge that will make them valuable members of society. Now, this isn't the case for all colleges, this isn't the case for all majors, but for liberal arts departments in particular, this is a huge issue, and it seriously needs to stop. Make universities great again should be a popularized slogan, because it needs to happen. Going to college used to mean something. Nowadays, you tell people you're in college, depending on what you're studying, people may just laugh at you. And it's because of professors like that one. And it's because of the environment that's been created on many of our colleges, on many college campuses in our country. Let's make college mean something again. It used to represent greatness. It used to represent intellect, intelligence. Now it's being made a mockery of. And it's because they've been infiltrated by these left-wing lunatics who actually have nothing important to teach and who are just wasting everyone's time. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment, and be on the lookout. There's many more videos coming your way very soon.